everyone. So, as you know, not all of us have a mental illness, although 1 in 4 at least do or will have it at some point in their lives. But we do all have mental health that needs to be looked after and cared for. So I believe mental health is like your physical health. It's just as important to work it out and to train it as much as possible and to have a good positive mindset if you can. Now, I'm talking about mental health, not mental illness. And so I'm really pleased to be partnering up with the fabulous Holly Matthews, who has her own incredibly powerful story. And she's going to be running positive mindset boot camps across the UK. So if you're in the UK or you can get here, you'll be very lucky to train with Holly, because I'm going to go to these happy boot camps, Happy Me boot camps, and she'll be telling you about that more. But first, Holly is going to share with her tips to help you get a positive mindset, and I'm going to be listening very closely.
Sophie and everyone that follows this channel. My name's Holly Matthews and I am a mom of 2 girls, Brooke and Texas. Brooke is 8, Texas is 6. I'm an actress, a vlogger, a speaker, and I'm also a positive mindset coach. And I'm the founder of the Happy Me Project. The Happy Me Project is an online, no BS self-development course, a 21-day online course. And also there is the workshops of the same name, which I have been touring around the UK for the last just over a year. And this year I've got some brand new locations and I'm getting to meet more and more of you, and I absolutely love it. So I said to Sophie that I would jump on here and give you guys some of my favorite positive mindset hacks, tips, ideas, things for you to ponder over. I'm massively a believer that it is not one size fits all when it comes to mental health, and that there are many different forms of therapy and ways of working through our mindsets. There's life coaching and psychologies and there's counseling and there's all different forms. Some people go out and do running, some people go raving, some people want to just a natter with a good friend, and there is no right and wrong when it comes to this stuff, because ultimately it's what feels good to you, what works for you. And certainly from my point of view and my form of self-development and positive mindset, it's very much about being real, being honest with the realities of your situation, because some of you watching this, you'll be going through some tough stuff. Me personally, to share with you guys, because you might not know my journey, my story. 18 months ago, my husband Ross died of brain cancer, and as you can imagine, it's been a very, very difficult time. Not only the lead up to that and the fact he had brain cancer for 3.5 years, but his death, the aftermath of that, being a mom of girls that are grieving, and grieving myself and the loss of our future and what I thought was going to be. And my story, I share that because I want you to understand that when I talk about positive mindset, it isn't all rainbows and beautiful stuff going on in my world. There are some tough bits as well. So let me share some hacks with you and some ideas that I think are really, really important. Number 1, the biggest thing that I tell every single person is to watch the things that you are saying to yourself every single day. Watch things that you are saying out loud. Listen to the words that you are using, the language that you are using. Listen to what you're repeating to yourself, because ultimately what we repeat to ourselves becomes our story, and our stories are where it's at. So if we are telling ourselves the continuous story, I'm ugly, I'm a loser, nobody's gonna like me, I'm never gonna have any friends, I'm always gonna be this, and we catastrophize situations, we make things bigger, and we focus solely on the worst things, and we repeat this stuff to ourselves. I've been there, I know what this is like. We have to start listening to that voice and recognize when we're doing it, because ultimately it's these stories. If we can change this story, we change our life. And the one thing I always say is that we don't have to be the same thing forever. So listen for the language that you are using. Listen to the words where you're saying, oh, well, it's always been this way. I will never have this. It's always massive. And see if you can find milder language. Are you saying things are a nightmare, disaster, everything's big, I will never be able to do this? What language are you using? Because that can shift everything. I've used this as an example before, but when I was in the hospice and my husband was dying and people would ask me how I was, I could very comfortably have said it was a living, breathing nightmare. And you guys, because you're lovely people, would have went, God, it probably was. And you know what? The nitty gritty of it, if I were to write it down on paper, then of course it was extremely painful. But in that moment, in order to help myself to move through it, I would say, when people asked how I was, I would say, I'm okay. I'm not great. I'll be better. I will be good. I will be good again. And that was a way to help me to move through that situation, because I couldn't change it. I couldn't change that situation, so I needed to find better language. So today, listen to the language that you are saying. When people ask how you are, do not say, not too bad, busy, any of that stuff. Just be present, be in the moment. And if you're not amazing, you don't have to lie, but you have to find a better word or something that is more hopeful than I'm just it's everything's stressful, because that story is what will repeat. So we don't want that story to repeat. We want you to feel better. So I want you to find an okay, I will be better. I'm not amazing right now, but I'm going to be, as something that helps you to move forward. Number 2, and this is probably one that when you first hear it and you're in the midst of difficult stuff, that you may find it hard to stomach, but gratitude is everything. It's a game changer. Being grateful for the stuff you do have and focusing your attention on that will change your story. It will change your life. And sometimes that can feel hard when you have your focus right now is on the negative and all the stuff you don't want. But I promise you now, because it is just the way our brains work, you focus your mind on the stuff you don't want, you will get more of it. Your brain will seek more of that out because it thinks that's what you want to see. You don't want to see more of that. So I want you to focus on gratitude. Talk about the things you love. Talk about the good bits in your life. And even if you've got the absolute world going crazy around you and there's all kinds of chaos and difficult stuff that you're going through, even with all of that, there is still good stuff next to it. It's science, because every positive there is a negative. We can't argue with that, okay? So we have to find the things to feel grateful for. And if right now you're in this spiral of negativity, think big. Think, I'm glad that I get to watch a YouTube video. I'm really grateful that I have access to the internet. Perhaps you've got a home to live in. That's something to feel grateful for. Do you have water coming out of your tap? That's really something to feel grateful for. So if you can't go really specific, think big. But be playful with it. Think about the strange things you feel grateful for. My daughters will say they feel grateful for their comfy socks. And I just think that's absolutely beautiful. We forget to feel grateful for these small moments. But if we can shift our mind to think about that, then we're not spending time moaning. Number 3, my third tip in how to think more positive, feel more positive, is to take a look at your social media. Pretty much everybody on here is on some form of social media. You're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I want you to look at that stuff and I want you to consider the things that you are following on there. Is it really making you feel good? Even the ones that are supposed to make you feel good and motivated, are they actually making you feel like that? Be ruthless with yourself, be honest, because you are on there all of the time and you control the news that you are seeing. You control what your focus is being allowed to be on. Now, even if that is me and my positive outlook makes you feel negative, unfollow. If it is that Insta fitness person, I don't follow any of them, I don't think. Even if it is that person that you think is going to get you down the gym, but every time you look at it, it makes you want to eat cake and you feel bad about yourself, then it's not helping. Unfollow, get off it. It's not helping. And if you're on Facebook or somewhere and you have friends from school and they're moaning about their baby daddy and they're moaning about stuff that you don't want to see, you don't have to make a big drama and do that whole I'm culling all my friends thing, but you do just have to turn down the noise, unfollow it. You don't have to see it. You don't have to see it. This is the thing, you are the controller of your own destiny. So unfollow the stuff that isn't making you feel good. Have an absolute cull. Be ruthless. Don't be one of those people that picks at the scab and makes it feel, you know, makes it worse by feeling the pain, by looking at that person that doesn't make you feel good, by following those thinspiration accounts that actually make you feel awful about yourself. Stop doing it. It's only you that's causing your pain then. It is only you doing that. So be ruthless. So let's look at our language. Let's feel grateful for the stuff that we do have. Focus our attention on that. And let's unfollow the stuff that isn't making us feel good. They seem such obvious tips, but the likelihood is that if you're feeling rubbish, some of these habits you've got out of doing and some of these bad habits have crept in. That's just the way our minds, that's what goes on in our minds at times. Now at my workshops, we are going to be talking about loads of stuff like this, and it's a very safe environment. So those of you that feel anxious, promise you now, everybody that's there is feeling the same, including me. Everybody feels anxiety in certain situations when we're meeting new people, but I make these spaces really inclusive. If you feel worried or if there's anything I can do to help you through that workshop, then just let me know beforehand. If you want to sit by the door, if you want to, you know, sit by the window, if you know what, we want to sit at the back and you want to be quiet, you don't have to talk at my workshops. You can be completely silent, just take in the atmosphere. You write things in a book. There isn't, you know, sharing your childhood trauma. That is not what it's about. It's about having this tool belt, popping some new skills in that tool belt so that you can leave, and that over the course of you going forward into the next 6 months of the year, you're going to use these tools and you're going to find the things that work for you. And that's what it's about. Some of the stuff that we learn on the day, you'll be like, that is the one, that is the thing that's helping me today. And then another day, that might not be the thing that pulls you through. But we need to have these skills in order to get through all the challenges that we have in life. So I would love to see you guys at my workshops. I'm in Manchester on the 1st of June, Nottingham on the 22nd of June. In July, on July the 20th, I'm going to be in Liverpool/Wirral. On the, where am I next? August the 17th, I'm up in Newcastle, and in Coventry in November. So I would love to see you guys at one of those workshops, and do let me know that you found me through Sophie. I look forward to seeing you all. Speak to you soon. Bye.
So hopefully you found that really useful. I wanted to counteract some of the stuff I was talking about on Wednesday. If you look at my Wednesday lives, I did a video on medication. And whilst I am for medication, if that's what's needed for your illness, I am also for complementary therapies and for us all to help boost our own mental health and well-being. So medication is not a quick fix. But I do believe it still plays a massive part, especially when we talk about mental illness rather than when we're talking about mental health. That's why I try and differentiate the two. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that today. Do, as ever, chat to me on social media at Mama May Blog. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Peace, love and shimmies.